Receipts and thank you letters are the next topic, and this is the single most demanded feature. Everybody wants receipts and thank you letters. In fact, when I did fundraising, the first thing I was taught in the first seminar I ever went to was that we needed to, we needed to enter the gifts within 24 hours of when they came in. We needed to send out a receipt with a appropriate thank you letter with a return envelope and a tear-off coupon, what we called a bounce back, that needed to be done within 24 to 48 hours of the gift coming in so that the donor would receive it and it would be nice and professional and timely and those kinds of things. Literally, I was taught that in my first hours of fundraising, and I would have to say that almost all of our customers do that almost every, if not every day, certainly every week. So in looking at the thank you letter and receipt area, the first thing we note is that you are able to create a library of thank you letters right within Denari. Now, some customers choose to export the data and do the merge in Microsoft Word, and that's fine if they want to do it that way. I prefer to actually build it right in and print it right from the database. In creating the individual letters, all you're responsible for is creating the body of the letter. The rest of the data, the salutation, and all the financial stuff is all placed onto a template. The idea with a receipt thank you is that obviously there's a lot of data, the receipt number and the charitable portion and all those things, but we still want the most appropriate thank you letter to go with each gift. We want to build the relationship with the donor, and so we feel that by creating a library of thank you letters and then being able to easily merge in the appropriate thank you letter with each gift, that you really up the ante. You really gain the ability that with each gift you select the most appropriate thank you, and then when it comes time to merge them, it just all comes together. That's why I like doing it within the database. If you do it in Microsoft Word, then how do you merge in 20 different thank you letters for 50 different gifts? You really don't. You could, but you probably wouldn't do it. In the database, we can create the library of thank you letters and easily have 20 different varieties, and then in gift entry select the most appropriate one, and when it's time to actually run the receipts, it's just a matter of putting in the parameters and off they go. In terms of the parameters, we're simply going to enter the batch range, and in putting in the range it could be 1 day's worth of gifts or several. You're able to select the output type. In this case, I'll do printed receipts. The output order will say last name, and then also a secondary output. So maybe you want to print the receipts and then do envelopes or labels that would be in exactly the same order, and it'd be kind of convenient to output them. That's all there is to it. We submit the requests, and then it returns a properly formatted PDF document. Now, we say properly formatted because for a lot of organizations, they feel very particular about the way that receipt should look. Here's an example of one for the C.S. Lewis Foundation, and this goes on plain white paper. Now, a lot of customers have it go on their own special paper that's perforated and has graphics and shaded boxes and all that, and we are able to custom fit these. So that's a very popular thing, obviously. Let's zoom in a little bit. We see that the graphic is embedded right within the database. They wanted the name and address to be in bold, Dear Debbie, and then off it goes with the body of the letter, the signature. This is all embedded right in the database, and then the financial data. The key thing about Denari is that we have the smooth, integrated way to be able to not only print a good-looking receipt, but also to have the body of that letter vary per gift, for you to be able to really put that extra touch on each interaction with the donor. I've been told that it's like wrapping one little thread around you and the donor. One thread all by itself doesn't constitute a really strong bond, but every time you send a receipt with a good thank you letter, it's like wrapping another thread and another thread. Eventually, the receiving area can form a very strong connection with the donor.